So hello students, hope you are all doing well. So in this lecture we'll be discussing some of the important feature of object oriented programming language. Okay, so the feature is data hiding. Okay, so this data hiding is also one of the most important feature of object oriented programming. So in the previous lectures we have discussed two important features of object oriented programming, that is the first one is class, okay, and the second is object. Okay, so these two we have discussed. So now we'll discuss the third important concept, that is known as the data hiding. So data hiding is basically, okay, it is the property of object oriented programming that hides, okay, that hides the object details, okay, the internal object details, okay, from the outside world, you can say, from the outside class. Okay, so the object detail means that the object that consists or that comprises of the data variables. Okay, so all the data variables are a part of object. Okay, so these data variables constitutes an object because the object contains the information about the data variables. So the main aim of data hiding is to hide these internal details, okay, to hide the internal details of the object, or to hide these data members from the outside world or from the outside function. Okay, so this data hiding, this also ensures, okay, this data hiding also ensures, okay, it also ensures the integrity of the data, okay, the integrity of data. So what do you mean by the term integrity of the data? Okay, it means that it ensures that valid data or the valid values must be there in the data variables. Okay, so valid values, or you can say that the data is following a particular valid policy. Okay, so for example you can say that, okay, if you are going in a bank for a transaction, then it should be there that the amount that you are withdrawing, it should be greater than zero. Okay, the amount should not be negative. So okay, so it means that the valid values are there. Okay, integrity is there. The bank is providing some integrity on the data that in the ATM machine, okay, only the users can enter the data, the amount that is greater than zero. So it means that there are some valid, okay, valid values or some valid, you can say, constraints are there. Okay, so it also ensures the integrity of the data, and it also ensures that, okay, only the valid class members, okay, only the valid class members should be able to access the data. Okay, only the data members of the class, only the data members of the class can access, okay, can access the data. Okay, so there should be no outside function, or there should be no outside user, okay, that can access your data directly. Okay, so no outside function or user. Okay, user means the user that is trying to access your data. Okay, because the data can be accessible but it cannot be accessed directly. So no outside user or no outside function can access, okay, the data directly. Okay, so directly the data cannot be accessed, only you can have the data can be accessed, okay, by the data members of the class indirectly. So this data members or the member functions must access the data variables of the class indirectly. There should be no direct access to your data. So you can take an example, okay, a scenario that if you have a university management system, okay, and in your university management system you can have, okay, a student. Okay, so the student can have you can say there is a class student. Okay, so we are just creating a scenario. Student is a class, and you can say that this student has a data member that is roll number. Okay, so this is the data member. Okay, this is the data member of a class student. Now you can say if we are working in a university management system, so there can be many modules. Okay, there can be many programmers that are developing different modules, and there can be a case that a different programmer or a different member, okay, can try to access your data. Okay, it can be possible that a member who is developing, you can say, fee management system, okay, can access this roll number information. Okay, we can provide this information indirectly to that particular member, that particular function. But if that particular function or if that particular user try to access this roll number directly, then there can be a chance that that particular user can corrupt this data. Okay, so there is a constraint that this roll number cannot be 0. Okay, this roll number must be greater than 0. So there can be a case that the user that tries to access this roll number, okay, can make this, okay, can, okay, provide the value 0 or negative to this roll number. Okay, so if this happens, then there should be, okay, the data is inconsistent. Okay, or the data integrity is at stake, because the data cannot be, okay, negative, or your roll number cannot be negative. Okay, so there can be a case that if we create, okay, if we create an object of this student class, and any user, okay, any user, or you can say any programmer who tries to access, okay, it's not you, but it can be any programmer who tries to access, irrespectively he don't know that what is the logic behind, okay, your function, or what is the logic behind your data member, but he tries to access your data member, and suddenly he tries to access roll number, and he writes like roll number is equal to -20, let us suppose. So what happens that your roll number is assigned a value -20, and that is not a valid value. It means that the inconsistency is there, and you are violating the policies or the integrity of the data. So there should not be this case. So in order to protect this, okay, in order to protect this scenario, okay, what we do, okay, we provide member functions. Okay, so here comes the role of the member functions. So what we will do, okay, the member function must be created, and these member functions must be, okay, must be accessed with the help of the object. And irrespectively of direct accessing the data, we will access the data with the help of this member function. Okay, so if there is a member function, for example, okay, for example, if we have a member function, that the name of the member function is, for example, set data. Okay, set data, or you can say set roll number. Okay, this is the member function. So if this particular member function is called on this particular object, that is st, and for example any user or any programmer, okay, who tries to access this, who tries to access your data with the help of this member function, okay, so this member function is not accessed by you, it is being accessed by some another, okay, user. So if this user tries to access this member function and provide any value -20, then, okay, he is indirectly accessing the data. Okay, he is not directly accessing this member function. Okay, so what he is trying to do, okay, irrespective of knowing the logic of your function that you have defined, because this set roll number has been written by you, okay, and there can be a situation that you have written some filters that if the data is negative, then you will print some error message that roll number cannot be negative. So this particular data, okay, that you have, that particular person have passed, it will be, okay, given to your member function as an input, and then there are some filters that you have written inside your member functions, and on the basis of that the data can be, okay, the message can be printed, okay, in order to violate the condition. So the main thing is that we are now providing a mechanism that in spite of direct access, you have to provide access with the help of the member functions. Okay, so the member functions, these member functions are, what are these member functions? These member functions are the the members of the same class. Okay, these member functions, okay, these are the members of same class to which your data member belongs. Okay, to which your data member belongs. So these member functions can access the data, okay, of the same class indirectly. Okay, so we have provided a constraint here. Okay, and we have created certain filters in our we have defined certain we have defined certain features, or we have created some certain filters in our member function, so that this particular negative data, okay, can be, okay, wiped out. So in this way, okay, the working follows. So if any user, okay, so if any user tries to declare these data member, okay, this roll number inside the public section, okay, and you very well know that anything that is declared in this public section can be accessed by anyone. Okay, it can be accessed by any member, by any function, okay, outside the class also. So it can be accessed directly, okay, outside the class. It can be accessed by any member function, okay, sorry, any function outside the class. So the data is at stake. Okay, if this particular data can be accessed by anyone, so it can be, there can be a situation that any user can manipulate this data also, and it can result, okay, it can result in a very, okay, you can say a situation that is not related to our program. So to restrict this, okay, what C++ have provided, C++ have provided a specifier, okay, and the specifier is the private specifier. So this is the private specifier, and C++ says that you should declare, okay, you should declare all your data members inside this private specifier only. Okay, so by default, if you are creating the data members, okay, so these data members are a part of private specifier, but you can also explicitly write private colon, okay, and declare all the data members. So this is the data hiding. Okay, so now what is being there, that this data cannot be accessed, this data can't be accessed, okay, outside the class, outside the class, okay, directly. So this you have to remember, that directly, okay, we can't access this, okay, this roll number directly, but we can access this roll number, okay, outside the class with the help of an interface that we will be defining in a public section. Okay, so in public section, if we write, okay, void display, okay, so now what we'll do, we can, okay, we can use, okay, if this is a class, for example, so now we can use, with the help of this object, we can directly access, okay, we can access this display, and this display is indirectly accessing, okay, this particular roll number. If we have written the logic, okay, of this roll number inside this display, then this display can access indirectly the roll number that is being declared as private, because this display is a member function of the same class to which this data member belongs. Okay, so I hope now it is clear to you. So this is data hiding, to hide, okay, to hide the object details from the outside world, and to provide the integrity of the data by preventing your data to be accessed by any outside user, so that he might not change the content of your program. So thanks.